go. Live video is starting.
Beautiful. Now let's shut this keyboard off because it's
And
goddamn
throw
menace.
it away.
It's a menace.
I know.
But now it can't affect anything.
I've got to move my mouse off of end live video.
Yes, please.
That was going to be a disaster. We have no comments.
Well, we are on time and on schedule and actually live and everything.
And nothing wrong.
Something terrible will happen, but I don't know when. These picks are...
Do they want to come off?
No, they're staying on. I was going to say, these picks are... After all my experimenting around and all, these are still...
They are the ones.
The ones, especially for this harp.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully there's somebody out there.
We say 5 people and no comments.
Wonderful. All right. Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
If you're new, please drop us a comment. We'd love to get to know you and find out who you are and where you're from and all of that.
We have
and,
folks from all over.
Indeed. And welcome to our home this thundery Saturday afternoon in North Alabama.
Here. Hello to you and your lovely wife from Sewickley, Pennsylvania. I was in your class at MLAG, George.
Hello, Daryl. Thank you, and hello to you and your lovely wife. I'm so glad you decided to join us this afternoon, and we will do our very best to make it worth your while here. You might hear some thunder in the background. We've got thunderstorms down here, but anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and get going here.
And Daryl says, I'm a woman.
Oh, I apologize.
Sorry about that. I didn't
Boy, did I mess that all up.
Oh, dear.
I hope the rest of the broadcast goes better than that.
It's kind of on
very
me.
sorry.
I didn't notice this. I'm sorry. Welcome, Daryl.
Heidi.
And she said, no problem.
Last show, 2 weeks ago, ended prematurely. We think we know why, but it doesn't matter. We were cut off with like 6 songs to go. And I was upset about it because the last songs were ones I was really looking forward to playing.
And me here.
And
I love them.
Yeah, and I said, well, we'll just have to do them another time because I had another show planned for today. And Lynn came up with a brilliant suggestion. She said, well, why don't we do a show called The Rest of the Story?
Yes.
Where you can do those songs. And I said, well, yeah, that's fine, but there's a little matter of another 14, 15 songs we got to have. But anyway, this is called The Rest of the Story, and it kind of continues the theme, Daryl, that I did at MLAG about folks down home and what they get into. Last show, which you can go see if you want to on this very page, I did all the songs that I did at MLAG. Plus one. So if you want to hear those again.
I have a couple of comments. Stan Johnson.
Hello, Stan and Sandy.
He says, a little rainy here today, but we need it. hello to you and Lynn today.
Well, I sure wish we could exchange because we really don't need it.
And then Laura is here.
Hello, Laura Harden
Hello,
from
George.
California.
Looking forward to another concert. And Loretta DeVore is here. Good afternoon. And Daryl says, yeah.
Hello, Loretta. Wonderful to hear you. I liked the songs that you've been posting on the Autoharp groups very much. I don't always comment, but I do like to kind of keep abreast of things. So we'll get started here with a song called Come In Stranger. It was written by the late Ian Tyson, and he and his then wife Sylvia recorded it, Ian and Sylvia. It's called Come In Stranger. She said, come in, stranger, it's good to have you home. I hurried through 'cause I knew it was you, and I saw your dog wagging his tail. Honey, why didn't you let me know by mail? You've been gone so long. She said, come in, stranger, I know you're weary from all the miles. Just sit right there in your easy chair. Tell me about all the places you've been, how long it'll be before you leave again. Hope it's a long, long while. She said, come in, stranger, everything round home is fine. I've watched and waited for you to get back, and I missed you all the time. She said, come in, stranger, how I miss you when you're gone. I walk the floor and I watch the door, and I lie awake and wonder where you could be. I'd give anything to have you here with me. It's so lonesome all alone. Well, she said, come in, stranger, oh, won't you listen to my plea? Stay long enough so the one I love won't be a stranger to me. Yeah, she said, come in, stranger, I won't you listen to my plea. Stay long enough so the one I love won't be a stranger to me. Stay long enough so the one I love won't be a stranger to me.
Oh, I like that song. Loretta said, thank you so much. So glad you enjoyed them. We sure need the rain here in northwest Arkansas, Prairie Grove. And Philippa is here. Hi.
Hello, Philippa.
Facebook sucks, she said.
No kidding.
And Phyllis Gula is here and says hello.
Hello, Phyllis.
And
welcome back.
Philippa said, enjoying watching you get better on that Autoharp.
Yeah, this is rapidly becoming my favorite Autoharp. I hate to say it after all the money and all I invested in the Tahoma. I still like to play the Tahoma, but when I really want to just relax and play music, this is the one for me. It's the best $700 I ever spent to get it converted because it was just gathering dust.
Phyllis Gula said, great picking, and then she also said, thanks. And Teresa Chestman, hi, y'all.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi.
Wow.
Welcome.
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah.
That's great. Where are we here?
Let's see.
Oh, I know where I are.
Okay.
Let's see.
I
You're
remember
in
the
North
song,
Alabama.
Oh, yeah. North Alabama. There we go. It's good to know that.
Here's a song
Oh, Dan
that...
Wolking, y'all.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
How are you?
Brother.
Nice to have you. I ordered the cables.
Yes.
So
There you go. And Teresa said, me too.
this was written by Johnny Martin Summers and was recorded by John Denver. It's called Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back. Ain't much an old country boy like me can't hack. It's early to rise, early in the sack. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm, raising me a family and working on the farm. Days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done and the sun's setting low, I pull out my fiddle and I rosin up the bow. Kids are asleep, so I keep it kind of low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't take it very good. So I fiddle when I can, work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I wouldn't trade my life for diamonds or jewels. I never was one of them money-hungry fools. Rather have my fiddle and my farming tools. Thank God I'm a country boy. Yeah, city folks driving in a black limousine. A lot of sad people thinking that's mighty keen. Son, let me tell you now exactly what I mean. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. And life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, my fiddle was my daddy's till the day he died. He took me by the hand, held me close to his side, said, live a good life, play my fiddle with pride, and thank God you're a country boy. Well, my daddy taught me young how to hunt and how to whittle, taught me how to work and play a tune on the fiddle, taught me how to love and how to give just a little. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Yes!
It's got a little bit ahead of me here. Hang on. I got into the song. Now, Phyllis said great picking and thanks, and whoa, there it went again. Hang on a minute. It jumped up on me. And then Dan was there, and Bob Hale.
Hello, Bob and Brenda.
We are watching you too. We are watching you too, XXX.
Thank you.
And let's see, Teresa said she's in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where did Philippa go? She was there a second. Oh, here we go. We have an Alabama not far from here. Weird. That's
Okay. Don't know what that means, but
maybe there's a city or a town.
Alabama, New York. Well, make up your mind whether you're in one or the other now. You can't do both.
And then Phyllis did clapping hands for you on that one, and Dan said, geez, now that's sustain. And Loretta said, are you using the ultimate picks?
No.
I want to make sure I didn't miss any, but I don't think I did.
I am using, don't know if you can see this, but I'm using the plastic Alaska finger picks that I used for years. And I kind of went on an experimentation jag and, tried a lot of other different picks.
Me, like the way I do brushes.
And then one night, I just, for old time's sake, I'm going to put these on, and I haven't taken them off. I can hit the notes I want to hit I played with bare nails, and this is the closest you can get to bare nails. The Alaska picks are pretty good too, but they tend to snag. So on this Autoharp, which I play cross-handed, I like these Alaska plastic Alaska finger picks.
And Flip said on the Alabama, New York, she said drive through it on the way to the res and the dispensary. So that's what she
okay.
in town there.
All right.
Cool.
Feel sorry for them folks.
Well, I don't know about that.
Neither fish nor fowl, home nowhere. I don't know who wrote this song. Jimmy Dean recorded it, and it's called I Won't Go Hunting With You, Jake, in C, if you want to try to play along with it. Well, it's springtime in the mountains, and I'm full of Mountain Dew. Can't even read my catalog like I used to do. I'm sitting in that little shed right back of the house. Here comes old Jake with all the hounds, but he's gonna hear me shout, oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. So put them hounds back in the pen, quit your silly grinning. Oh, the moon is right and I'm half tight and my life is just beginning. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. Let's go down to the meeting house and wait till they start home. Them gals that live on Possum Creek will always leave alone. We'll run 'em down the corn rows, those sassy little misses. We'll scare them pretty gals to death, we'll stop and throw 'em kisses. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. So put them hounds back in the pen, quit your silly grinning. Oh, the moon is right and I'm half tight, life is just beginning. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. Now go wash your face and comb your hair, 'cause it's dang near time to start. But let me tell you before you go, there's one that's got my heart. Don't chase that gal with the yellow hair, wearing the dress of green. Oh, that pretty gal belongs to me, I know she's past 16. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. So put them hounds back in the pen, quit your silly grinning. Oh, the moon is right and I'm half tight, my life is just beginning. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. Now I was headed for the general store when a silly thing I seen. They make 'em in the city. It's called a magazine. I turned to page 32 and look at what I found. Them gals wear clothes that we ain't seen beneath them gingham gowns. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. So put them hounds back in the pen, quit that silly grinning. Oh, the moon is right and I'm half tight and my life is just beginning. Oh, I won't go hunting with you, Jake, but I'll go chasing women. You're right, Dan. Listen to the sustain on that thing.
Laura said, I got Kling Pro picks and I love them.
Yeah, Kling Pro picks are nice. They're real good picks. I like them. They absolutely will not slip. The only minor problem that I have with them is that they go just a little bit above my first knuckle. And to do some of the things that I do, I need to bend that knuckle just a little bit. But as far as quality of sound and tone and not slipping, they're the pick to get.
I have Loretta also, DeVore, and she said, that's good. I don't think I've tried those, but I sure can't use the ultimate pick. They hurt these old arthrogram, I'm trying to read because arthrogram fingers. By the way, I love that harp. And she put love in capital.
Thank you. I do too. And, this is the harp that I won last year in the contest.
Yes.
So these are nice picks. The only thing about them is you do need just a little bit of nail. You don't need very much, but the end of the pick here fits under the nail just a little bit, and it adds extra stability.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, you can do without that. I put some NextCare waterproof tape around the insides of these picks just to keep them from slipping a little bit. This thumb pick is a Fred Kelly Speed thumb pick, and it allows you to
touch thumb pick, which I love even more.
Really? Perfect touch, huh?
Yeah. And then Rita Persing.
Hello, Rita.
She says, "Hi, George, listening from Pennsylvania this afternoon with a grin face." And Phyllis says, "Fun one on the won't go hunting."
Yeah.
And Jerry's here. Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Jr. Sounds good as always, my friends.
Good to see you, sir.
Yes, welcome.
Let's see here. This song, again, I don't know the artist. It was recorded by Little Jimmy Dickens, and it tells a story about what kinds of things happen a lot down home, out behind the barn. My pappy used to tan my hide out behind the barn. He taught me to be dignified out behind the barn. When he took his strap to me and turned me down across his knee, he sure did hurt my dignity out behind the barn. Well, I smoked my first cigarette out behind the barn, and that's one day I won't forget out behind the barn. I got sick, you should have seen how that tobacco turned me green. I almost died from nicotine out behind the barn. Well, I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't a foolin' no siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, but it almost made a wreck out of me. I met a pretty girl one day out behind the barn. She wanted me to stay and play out behind the barn. She taught me to kiss and pet, and that's one game I can't forget, 'cause we still play that same game yet out behind the barn. Well, I wish that I could go again out behind the barn and do the things that I did then out behind the barn. You may think it ain't no fun, be poor old farmer's son. Well, you just don't know what all I done out behind the barn. Well, I got my education out behind the barn. I ain't a foolin' no siree. Passed each examination out behind the barn, but it almost made a wreck out of me.
Debbie Lane is here.
Hello, Debbie.
Everyone. Hello.
Great. Good afternoon. Welcome. We are glad you joined us.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along here. Not doing well on writers here. This was recorded by Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys and a host of others. It's called Y'all Come. When you live When you live in the country, everybody is your neighbor. On this one thing you can rely. They'll all come to see you and never ever leave you, saying, y'all come to see us by and by. Y'all come, y'all come, y'all come to see us now and then. Y'all come, y'all come. Well, y'all come to see us when you can. Kinfolks coming, they're coming by the dozen, eating everything from soup to hay. And right after dinner they ain't looking any thinner, and here's what you hear them say. Y'all come, y'all come. Well, y'all come to see us now and then. Y'all come, y'all come. Well, y'all come to see us when you can. Y'all come, y'all come, y'all come to see us when you can. Grandma's a-wishing they'd come to the kitchen and help through the dishes right away. But they all start leaving, and even though she's grieving, you can still hear Grandma say, y'all come, y'all come. Y'all come to see us now and then. Y'all come, y'all come. Well, y'all come to see us when you can. Y'all come. Come on down and see us.
Did I read Debbie Lane says hello, everyone? I believe.
Yes, yes, you did.
I have no other comments yet, but that was the last one.
Well.
I wasn't sure. I thought I did.
Right.
Debbie, we're glad to have you.
Yes, indeed.
Didn't mean to.
No, you read Debbie's comment.
I'd rather read them twice.
Yeah, that's right.
Than this one.
That's right. Agreed.
Yes.
Well, in the I Won't Go Hunting With You, Jake song, there was a reference to the little shed right back of the house.
We know that one.
I actually found the writer for this one. It was written by Harry Osborne, and it was recorded by Billy Ed Wheeler. He had a hit with it back in the 70s, and it's called Ode to the Little Brown Shack Out Back. They passed an ordinance in the town. They said we'd have to tear it down. That little old shack out back so dear to me. So the health department said its day was over and dead. It will stand forever in my memory. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down, for there's not another like it in the country or the town. It was not so long ago that I went tripping through the snow out to that house behind my old hound dog, where I would sit me down to rest like a snowbird on its nest, and I'd read that Sears and Roebuck catalog. Oh, I would hum a happy tune peeping through the quarter moon, as my daddy's kin had done so much before. It was in that quiet little spot daily cares could be forgot, and it gave the same relief to rich and poor. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down, for there's not another like it in the country or the town. Now it was not a castle fair, but I could dream a future there. Build my castle to the yellow jacket's drone. I could orbit around the sun, fight with General Washington, or be king upon a golden throne. It wasn't fancy built at all. We had newspapers on the wall. It was air conditioned in the winter time. Oh, it was just a humble hut, but its door was never shut, and a man could get inside without a dime. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down, for there's not another like it in the country or the town. And that a man could get inside without a dime was a reference to what I believe to be, fortunately, a very brief period in this country where people decided that pay toilets were a good idea.
I remember those. I mean, you had to have a dime.
I suspect they probably got tired of cleaning up messes in front of the locked doors, but I can't say for sure.
Seems like they always had one that wasn't in case of
Yeah.
emergencies. But
Yeah,
otherwise-
and it was always out of order.
Well, probably.
No, a lot of times it was. That's because it got so much use, I guess.
Phyllis says you always come up with great songs.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Yes.
I work hard scouring the internet and everything for offbeat kind of humor and other things. I can be serious, really. It's hard.
No.
But
No, occasionally you do. You do that.
let's see, where are we here?
Phyllis said, "Love it."
Here's a song that was written by Billy Vaughn, and I don't know if he's that sax player that had a band that was popular in the 50s or 60s or not, or whether it's another Billy Vaughn. It's called "Back to the Farm." I don't care for city life. Moved to town just to please my wife. Ain't allowed to whittle with my pocket knife. I want to go back to the farm. Can't wear overalls no more. City carpets all over the floor. Miss the boys from the general store. I want to go back to the farm. Sure miss fishing in old Mud Creek. Neighbors ain't friendly. They won't speak. Gotta take a bath at least once a week. Never had to do that on the farm. My, what I do to please a spouse. I was a man, now I feel like a mouse. Bathroom built right inside the house. Ain't like it was on the farm. Fancy restaurants, neon lights, women rocking around in tights. I even miss the chigger bites I used to get on the farm. Supposed to be a life of ease. Well, I guess I'm just a little hard to please. Mama don't fix them black-eyed peas like she done back on the farm. My, that wife of mine's a sight. Wears that girdle too darn tight. Gonna learn to play bridge tonight. Sure weren't like that on the farm. Don't get milk from cows no more. Comes in a jug from the corner store. You know, I ain't had a good saddle sore since I left my home on the farm. I'm a little older, but a whole lot wiser. My wife calls me a cheap old miser. Miss that smell of fertilizer that we had back on the farm. She just jabbers on the phone, talking about what the neighbors own. She's gonna find herself alone, 'cause I'm heading back to the farm.
Yeah.
Consarn it anyway.
Yeah.
Stupid city dudes.
Rita Person said, "You have such a nice voice."
Thank you, Rita.
Added, "I'd love to hear you sing a ballad sometime, even though I know that's not your usual thing."
A ballad. Okay. Rita wants to hear a ballad. How can we do that? How can we do that? Give us a minute, folks. See,
He does do these sometimes.
I don't have a roadie or someone who can just, put one in my lap here. But hang on. Okay. All right. Okay. Now understand that I haven't practiced this, and I haven't played it in a while. But I shall do my best to accommodate Rita's request.
Very good.
This was a poem written by a cowboy poet named Charles. Good old Charlie wrote this.
Charlie wrote it.
It was written by Charles Badger Clark Jr. in 1925, and someone put it to music, and I think it was Mason Williams, and it's called "Spanish is the Loving Tongue." Spanish is the loving tongue, soft as music, light as spray. 'Twas a girl I learned it from, living down Sonora way. I don't look much like a lover, yet I say her love words over, often when I'm all alone. Mi amor, mi corazón. Nights she knew when I would ride, she would listen for my spurs, fling that big door open wide, raise them laughing eyes of hers, and my heart would nigh stop beating when I heard her tender greeting, whispered soft for me alone. Mi amor, mi corazón. Moonlight in the patio, old senora nodding near, Me and Juana talking low, so the madre could not hear how those hours would go flying, and too soon I'd hear her sighing in her little sorry tone. Adios, mi corazón. But one time I had to fly for a foolish gambling fight, and we said a swift goodbye in that black, unlucky night, when I loosed her arms from clinging. With her words, the hooves kept ringing as I galloped north alone. Adios, mi corazón. Never seen her since that night. I can't cross the line, you know, because of that stupid fight. Like as not, it's better so. Yet I've always sort of missed her since that last wild night I kissed her, left her heart and lost my own. Adios, mi corazón.
Rita said, beautiful, thank you, with exclamation points. And before that, Bob Hale said, I play that one, George.
Oh, do you? Good.
And then he said, we had one. So I'm not sure what.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, Rita. And so that you see
love
it.
that song.
I can
I
be.
tried to get him to play that.
I can be serious once in a while.
Yes. He plays that one for me sometimes.
Write down that we did that.
I did.
Okay.
I was doing that as you started. As soon as I knew which one.
Yeah. All right. Let me get back on course here.
So I love that one, so thank you, Rita. And Lara said, I sing it too.
My goodness. A lot of Autoharp players
Like that.
like that one?
Like that one. That's pretty.
It's a good song. And I'm glad we were able to do it for you. Let me make sure.
Put that thing somewhere.
Yeah, keyboards are. I have an awful lot of equipment over here. All right. Let's see what mischief we can get up to now.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you a little story about something that happened down home one time. Our local preacher, Reverend Holier T. Thou, was driving along a dirt road following a guy driving a pickup truck. And the guy that was driving the pickup truck was all over the place. Both sides of the road, just kind of, turning that straight road into a series of Z's and W's and other such things. And the preacher said to himself, wow, that poor man might be sick. I better try to help him. And then the preacher said to himself, I better get around that fool drunk before he kills us both.
That's right.
So the preacher, he gives his car a little bit more gas and cuts out around the pickup truck and happens to hit a mud hole and slides off the road, and his car rolls onto its side in the ditch. And the pickup truck driver stops and gets out of his truck and comes back and says, Preacher, are you all right? And he said, I'm all right, son. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. The Lord's riding with me. And the pickup truck driver says, well, preacher, You better let him ride with me. If you keep driving like that, you're going to kill him.
Lois Conklin is here.
Hello, Lois.
She said, just got in from a walk along the creek on this lovely summer morning.
Well.
Always good to catch you live.
It's always good to have you with us, Lois.
Yes, welcome to
My
our
goodness.
virtual back porch.
Okay. Now, this is a guy who, at the end of this song, might be singing the song we sang a minute ago about wanting to go back to the farm. I don't know who wrote this, and I don't know who recorded it. I don't even remember where I learned it, but I've been playing it for almost my whole Autoharp career. Don't even know what the title is. I call it the bridge song. Well, there I stood in that great big city with the buildings tall and the girls real pretty. Up comes a man, says, "Psst, come here, son. I got your big deal if you just got the money." And I bought it. Bought myself the Brooklyn Bridge. $2, 2 cigarettes, and an autographed picture of Herb Alpert and a Tijuana brass. Kept that old bridge for a day or so, and then my money got to running low. So I tried to make me a sale, and the man come and carried me off to jail. Laughed at me down there. Said I was crazy. And they told me that society frowns on folks selling a bridge without a license. Well, they stood me up in front of the judge, and I stood there grinning, but the judge didn't budge. He said, $90 or 90 days. And I just looked at him, and all I could say was, "Judge, I believe I'll take that $90. Couldn't make it 95, could you? I done spent all my money on that darned old bridge." Well, after about 6 months in that jail, I'm still trying to make me a sale. I met up with a cat called Skid Row Pete, and I traded my bridge off for 42nd Street. Oh, it was a big deal. It was a big transaction. I'm a big man of action. I'll bet the folks back home could never realize that here in a great big town of this size, a boy like ours could own his own street. Heck, I spend my days just keeping it neat. Pick up a lot of cigarette butts, wine bottles. I believe everybody in New York's got a big old dog or two. I bet Skid Row Pete don't have all these problems on his bridge. I'm gonna go downtown and get me a bridge license to see if I can trade him back.
Laura said, my sister Maya has sold the Brooklyn Bridge many times.
Okay.
Oh, it's a print she made of
Oh, I see.
I see. Oh, an artist.
Indeed. Yeah. Counterfeit copies. That a
I'd
joke.
like to see that sometime.
Yeah. I'm going to tell that joke. I told it at MLAG, so some of these people have heard it before.
Rita said, cute. Never heard that one before. There's someone who didn't hear it before.
Right. Well, if you ever find it, you can do it too.
Oh, excuse me. Stop that.
But I've never found it, and I've looked for it. Yeah, you know. It's like the guy that comes into the town, comes in down home, a little town down there. He puts up a sign and said, "It's coming soon." And everybody's wondering what that sign's all about. Well, a couple of days later, he said, "Watch for it." The sign says, "Watch for it." Everybody wondered, watch for what? And then a couple of days later, the sign read, "It's getting close." And then the next sign said, "It's here." And everybody's in the theater, and the guy pays a boy a couple bucks to pull the curtain, and behind the curtain is a sign that says, "It's gone." Here's a song that was written by Randy Sparks. Actually, I don't know who really wrote it, but Randy tended to take credit for a lot of the songs that his new Christy Minstrels group that he owned and operated did. It was recorded by the new Christy Minstrels. Going to play it in G and take you back to your old hootenanny days, the place I wish I had been when I learned to play the Autoharp, but that's another story. This is called Saturday Night. Let's find the right key. Hey, how about the national anthem? Eat your heart out, Jimmy. Saturday night, we all get together on Saturday night. Put on your shoes, go downtown. Do nothing but walk around. On a Sunday or a Monday, you can't do it right. Ain't you glad we got Saturday night? Early in the evening, all week long, sit on the stoop and sing your little song. Cry on your pillow when things go wrong, and wait for Saturday night. Saturday night, Saturday night, we all get together on Saturday night. Look at the girls and what do we do? Turn around and see if they're looking too. On a Sunday or a Monday, you can't do it right. Ain't you glad we got Saturday night? Old timers down at a Ledbetter store tell you young folks ain't like they were before. They're going to the dogs, you can see it more and more, especially on a Saturday night. Saturday evening when the work's all done, come on along, we'll have a little fun. We're sort of quiet and kind of homespun, but we're wild on a Saturday night. Easy now, Saturday night, Saturday night, we all get together on Saturday night. Ain't you glad we got Saturday night? Everybody now, Saturday night, Saturday night, we all get together on Saturday night. We'll do things you've never seen. Ain't coming home till 12:15 on a Sunday or a Monday, you can't do it right. Ain't you glad we got Saturday night? Ain't you glad we got Saturday night? Ain't you glad we got Saturday night?
That's a good one.
Yeah. I like that one. Back in the 60s with all the folk groups. And I wanted to be those people. So I am now when nobody remembers them.
Hey.
Or very few people remember them anyway. Here's a bluegrass tune. It's traditional, which means that nobody recorded nobody wrote down who wrote the song. Lots of people have done it. I am going to do a version by a fella by the name of String Bean. He was real popular on the Grand Ole Opry, played banjo.
Did he show up on the Hee Haw show every so often?
He did.
Was that the String Bean that
Yeah,
showed up?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I
Sure is.
That's where I heard of it.
It's called How Many Biscuits Can You Eat? Oh, how many biscuits can you eat this morning, this morning? How many biscuits can you eat this evening, this evening? How many biscuits can you eat? 49 and a ham of meat this morning, this evening, right now. Well, there ain't no use in me working so hard this morning, this morning. Ain't no use me working so hard this evening, this evening. Ain't no use me working so hard, 'cause I got a woman in the other fellow's yard this morning, this evening, right now. She killed a chicken and she saved me the wing this morning, this morning. She killed a chicken and saved me a wing this evening, this evening. She killed a chicken and saved me a wing. She thinks I'm a working, I ain't doing a thing this morning, this evening, right now. Oh, how many biscuits can you eat this morning, this morning? How many biscuits can you eat this evening, this evening? How many biscuits can you eat? 49 and a ham of meat this morning, this evening, right now. Well, she gave me cake and she gave me pie this morning, this morning. She gave me cake and she gave me pie this evening, this evening. She gave me cake and she gave me pie. I said, oh woman, we were living too high this morning, this evening, right now. Well, if you get there before I do this morning, this morning. If you get there before I do this evening, this evening. If you get there before I do, tell them all I'm a-coming to this morning, this evening, right now. Oh, how many biscuits can you eat this morning, this morning? How many biscuits can you eat this evening, this evening? How many biscuits can you eat? 49 and a ham of meat this morning, this evening, right now. Oh, when you see me looking straight this morning, this morning. When you see me looking straight this evening, this evening. When you see me looking straight, come on to get this biscuit plate this morning, this evening, right now. Oh, when you see me looking mean this morning, this morning. When you see me looking mean this evening, this evening. When you see me looking mean, bacon and eggs had better be seen this morning, this evening, right now. Oh, how many biscuits can you eat this morning, this morning? How many biscuits can you eat this evening, this evening? How many biscuits can you eat? 49 and a ham of meat this morning, this evening, right now. Little picking and grinning, little bluegrass there. Now, we got problem solvers down home, folks that, you know, work out their own troubles and figure out ways to cope without asking the government or, a relative or anything. They just take care of stuff. This is a song about one of those people. And by the way, if you haven't, everybody's been really great. We love all the comments. But if you haven't made a comment yet, jump on in there and leave a comment. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and all. We want to get to know everybody that we're playing for here.
I'm going to need to step out for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back while you play that.
All right. This song was written and recorded by a guy by the name of Jim Dime, and it's called the Coon Dog Song. Old Newton McGraw had the meanest wife you ever saw. She made that poor old Newton toe the line. till he knowed he had to find some good excuse to get away now and then or lose his mind. Well, he finally hit upon his big idea. He went out and bought a pack of good coon hounds. Whenever that old woman started getting on his nerves, he'd go out a-hunting coon all night long. One night, way out somewhere in the backwoods, he found the cabin of that lonely Widder Jones. Nudie tried to fight her off the best he could. Her sweet perfume just made spaghetti of his bones. Now when Nudie got back home in the morning, his old woman was as hot as she could be. She said, "Ain't that perfume I smell all over you?" He said, "No, dear, it's that new potion I put on the dogs to kill fleas." Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume, the same kind that you'd find on Widder Jones. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. Those fleas laugh so hard they just fall off on the ground. Now old Nudie goes out a-hunting more and more. Them dogs of his, they're looking mighty poor. They're ashamed to tree a coon wearing all that cheap perfume. But Nudie don't care what they don't catch anymore. Today Nudie's wife passed the Widder Jones at the corner store. One whiff of that perfume about made her sneeze. Didn't take her long to put two and two together. She figured out the Widder Jones must have fleas. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume, the same kind that you'd find on Widder Jones. Now all Nudie's coonhounds wear perfume. Those fleas laugh so hard they just fall off on the ground. And that's why all Nudie's coonhounds wear Chanel number K9 perfume.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
I remember that one.
I don't know. Jim's probably done some other stuff, but that's the only song by him that I've ever come across. Haven't really looked up many of them up, for that matter. All right, here's another first-time song that I have not played for you before. It was written by Dan Neil Dalton, and it was recorded by the Back Porch Majority, which was the second string group to the new Christy Minstrels. And it's called Ladies Auxiliary Barn Dance. Okay. Now gather round me, folks, I got some things I'd like to say about the shindig that's a-comin', and it's only a week away. And everybody's gonna have a good time, if my prediction is right, at the Ladies Auxiliary Barn Dance Saturday night. There's gonna be singing, there's gonna be dancing, there's gonna be banjo picking, and the fiddler will be there. You'll like our cornbread and sweet molasses, and pretty gals with ribbons in their hair. Now the gals will dress in calicos, and with their fancy lace and buttons and bows, so all you boys get gussied up and your Sunday go to meeting clothes. And Mr. Cricket, keep on a-chirping, Mr. Moon, keep it shining bright, for the ladies' auxiliary barn dance Saturday night. There's gonna be singing, there's gonna be dancing, there's gonna be banjo picking, and the fiddler will be there. You'll like our cornbread and sweet molasses, and pretty gals with ribbons in their hair. We invite you fellas, one and all, but don't go thinking we're bold. It's just the available men we know are a little too young or a little too old. And you might easily steal a kiss when the opportunity's right at the Ladies' Auxiliary Barn Dance Saturday night. There's gonna be singing, there's gonna be band dancing, there's gonna be banjo picking, and the fiddler will be there. You'll like our cornbread and sweet molasses, and pretty gals with ribbons in their hair. Let's do it again. There's gonna be singing, there's gonna be dancing, there's gonna be banjo picking, and the fiddler will be there. You'll like our cornbread and sweet molasses, and pretty gals with ribbons in their hair at the Ladies' Auxiliary Barn Dance Saturday night. Don't miss it, folks.
Right.
We'll remember who didn't come. Well, just about everybody down home's got a garden. And here's a song about one of the things that just about everybody down home grows in their garden. It was written and recorded by Guy Clark. Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon, lettuce, and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you ripened, don't get a harden. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in the summer. All winter without 'em's a culinary bummer. I forget all about all the sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a biggin. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. You can go out to eat, and that's for sure, but it's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put 'em in the salad, put 'em in a stew. You can make your very own tomato juice. Eat 'em with eggs, eat 'em with gravy, eat 'em with beans, pinto or navy. Put 'em on the side, put 'em in the middle. Put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. If I was to change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. 'Cause I know what this country needs, and that's homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in a box in the cemetery. Out in the garden would be much better. I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
I love that. And I love homegrown tomatoes too.
Yeah.
They're good.
You can't beat a homegrown tomato. Store-bought ones just aren't any good
Well,
anymore.
they're not quite as good, no. Some of them smell like those, though, every once in a while.
It's something they spray them with to make them smell like that, probably.
No, I get it natural.
Yeah.
But those could be ones that a farmer took up to one of the grocery stores. They do that with peaches every year.
You lie to a country boy more than once or twice, he don't believe nothing you say.
That's true.
I have done this next song before. It's a traditional song. A zillion artists have done it. And those of you who have listened to us and watched us for a while will think you've heard it. But we've added a bunch of verses. It's called The Rooster Song.
That one.
We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have these chickens, no eggs do they lay. But then the rooster came into our yard and caught those chickens right off of their guard. They're laying eggs now just like they used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a milk cow, no milk would she give. We had a milk cow, no milk would she give. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We've got this milk cow, no milk will she give. And then that rooster came into our yard and caught that milk cow right off of her guard. She's giving eggnog like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a dog, no pups did she have. We had a dog, no pups did she have. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have this dog, no pups does she have. And then that rooster came into our yard and caught that doggy right off of her guard. She's having bird dogs like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a field, no crops would it grow. We had a field, no crops would it grow. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have this field, no crops will it grow. And then that rooster came into our yard. He caught that field right off of its guard. We're raising eggplant like we never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a gum machine, no gum would it give. We had a gum machine, no gum would it give. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We've got this gum machine, no gum will it give. And then that rooster came into our yard. He caught that gum machine right off of its guard. We're getting chiclets like we never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a garden, no flowers would it grow. We had a garden, no flowers would it grow. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We've got this garden, no flowers will it grow. And then that rooster came into our yard and caught that garden right off of its guard. We're growing chickpeas weed like we never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a comic, no laughs could he get. We had a comic, no laughs could he get. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We've got this comic, no laughs could he get. And then that rooster came into our yard. He caught that comic right off of his guard. He's telling jokes now just like he used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. Grown. We had a toaster, no toast would it give. We had a toaster, no toast would it give. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We've got a toaster, no toast will it make. And then that rooster came into our yard. He caught that toaster right off of its guard. It's making Eggos like it never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. Uh-oh. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. My wife said, honey, it isn't funny. Poor Aunt Matilda, no kids does she have. And then that rooster came into our yard. Matilda caught him right off of his guard. We had fried rooster, I tell you true, sir, last time that rooster came into our yard.
Okay. Oh my, I like those.
Oh, there's a million of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, after a while.
Well, you got to stop, yeah.
But you got to, well, how's he going to get out of that one?
Oh dear.
All right. I can't decide which story to tell. Mm-hmm. The one that I told at MLAG, which some people have heard. We'll tell the one I was going to tell. An old boy down home here bought him a new car. Boy, howdy, he was proud of that car. So he stops by the local tavern to show his new car off to all his buddies. He goes in there and gets to knocking back a few beers and bragging about his car and talking to his buddies. And he realized he'd locked his keys in the car. And he said, now, what am I going to do? And I said, well, there's a locksmith you can call, you know. So he calls up this old boy and he says, are you a locksmith? He said, sure am. And he said, well, can you come out here to the Heller's Lucky Bar, because I done locked my keys in my car. And he said, yeah, I'll be out there as soon as I can. And the old boy says, well, hurry up, it's fixing to rain and I got to put the top up. This song was written and recorded by a down easterner from Maine named Judd Strunk, who died way too young. And I'm going to adapt it just a little bit. Let me check something out down here, folks. I'll be right back. That's what I thought. There's an old wooden sign on the highway down home. It says, if we ain't got it, you don't need it. Bill Jones General Store. I can hear the creaking of the rusty old screen door. Smell the penny candy at Bill Jones' General Store. The pipe smoke and tobacco, wet boots on the floor. Campbell's soup and shotgun shells at Bill Jones' General Store. The cold and snow would blow against the glassed-in window pane. The old wood stove would kindle and try to fight the rain. I know the times are changing, but it won't be the same. Now the doors are bolted, Bill and Ruth are gone from town. The rooms are cold and empty, they'll probably tear it down. But Herky Wright and Whitey still sit outside the door, waiting for that quart of beer at Bill Jones' General Store. I can hear the creaking of the rusty old screen door. Smell the penny candy at Bill Jones' General Store. The pipe smoke and tobacco, wet boots on the floor. Campbell's soup and shotgun shells at Bill Jones' General Store.
It takes me back.
Yeah.
Because we had a general store like that down.
Exactly like that.
I know.
If Ivan didn't have it, you didn't need it.
Need it.
Yep, that was...
Philippa might remember.
Oh,
that.
she does. Yeah, we've had this conversation on a couple of other shows,
okay.
folks. So
Yeah.
we won't do it again.
Okay. That still takes me back.
Now, folks down home are kind of ingenious sometimes. They'll come up with novel ways to do things and get stuff done the down home way. And here's a song that was written by Richard Wilbur and was recorded by the New Riders of the Purple Sage on their album Oh What a Mighty Time in 1975. It's called Little Old Lady. When we lived on the mountain, it was hard to get around. You had to walk on down the road, but it went round and round. Grandma had a better way than that to get to town. She'd sit down on the mail chute and slide on into town. Yeah, she slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who, her little old lady who. Yeah, she slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who. Grandma liked her moonshine, but she never had a still. That was Charlie Parker's, and he lived down the hill. Grandma liked her moonshine, about a pint a day, so she had to get to Charlie's, and there weren't no quicker way. So she slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who, little old lady who. Yeah, she slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who. Grandma's getting old now, she's getting old and gray. But if you want to go to town, she'll show you the way. If you want to get there and you got to get there fast, just go down to the mail chute and sit down on your... She slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who, little old lady who. Yeah, she slid down the mountain on her little old lady who, little old lady who. Little old lady who, little old lady who, little old lady who, Little old, oh, 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 little old lady who, little old lady who, little lady who.
Yeah. Wow. That was incredible.
I'm going to learn to
Well
yodel
done.
someday. I did that song a lot when I was younger. And I've done so much singing in the last 4 or 5 years that I thought, well, I'm going to try it. I thought, looking at it the other day and found out I could sing it.
Can yodel too.
Yep.
A grin face and two hearts.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, that's good though. It's not an easy thing to do.
I don't know which key to do this in, Lynn. I really don't. I have it down in C.
Do it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I can hit the notes there, but I'm not too worried
Well,
about it. I'll just sing loud.
Take deep breaths, open your mouth, and...
Hang on, I dropped it. I'm going to need that.
Never lose your papers.
That's right. Okay, now put the mic back. Let's see what happens.
And this was written and recorded by a guy who has either the first or second most offbeat sense of humor of all the artists from whom I steal. He and Shel Silverstein are right up there neck and neck. And this is called Big Butter Jesus. And if Dan Wolking is still here, he will verify that this is a true story. This thing really existed. In southern Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, I beheld a vision next to the expressway. It was a 60-foot Jesus with his hands in the air. Looks like he's carved out of butter, just like at the state fair. Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, oh country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus, oh promised Jesus, imperial Jesus, can't believe it's not Jesus, holy old Lord. Well, you see him from his chest up, like he's about to do a backflip, or maybe scored a touchdown, or maybe melting or about to drown. You know, I've been to the state fair, seen a cow made out of corn cobs, Stephen Hawking out of string cheese, and the Virgin out of olives. Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, oh country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus, ill promised Jesus, imperial Jesus, can't believe it's not Jesus, holy old Lord. Chipped in pieces on a flatbed, staring backwards was his big head. Driver stuck in traffic backups, desperately avoiding eye contact. Well, don't you make no graven images, I think it's one of the 10 Commandments. I hope the grading curve is kindly, you get into heaven with a 90. Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, oh salted Jesus.
I missed that. Oh, country fresh cheese.
Oh, prom.
I screwed that up. Start over. Big butter.
Just a minute, I got to reset.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, George. I think I missed a line and I jumped the line.
You get into heaven with a 90. Big butter Jesus, sweet cream Jesus, old country fresh Jesus, unsalted Jesus, oh promise Jesus, imperial Jesus, can't believe it's not Jesus, holy oh Lord. One night big butter got struck by lightning, and it burned to its frame wire in a giant grease fire. Some blamed it on Satan. Boy, that would be frightening. But I thought it was Jesus' father who's in charge of lightning. Big fireball Jesus, extremely flammable Jesus, charbroiled Jesus, whoop-by Jesus, extra crispy Jesus, bananas foster Jesus, I'm put out but not Jesus, holy oh Lord, I'm put out but not Jesus, charcoaly some more. Sizzle.
Philippa said I can verify it too.
Yeah.
Not
and
the burning, but the statue.
Yeah. Oh, they put it back up.
Did they?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that
oh,
part.
yeah, Jesus rose again.
Oh,
just like in the book.
He did.
Yeah, he did. And now he's got a lightning rod up his back, and he's got fire suppression equipment installed around these tanks are installed around in the pedestal of him. Yeah. Yeah. That ain't going to happen no more. Oh, goodness. How we doing on time?
Oh, we got 2:32.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Oh, thunder.
No, that was Sadie. Did she hear thunder?
Yeah, there's thunder out there. That wasn't Sadie.
I thought she went, I guess you're right.
Yep.
Sadie's our Great Dane, and she has a low voice, so it's easy to get confused.
Well,
At least for me, it was easy.
There's Indy the intrepid guide dog. He's with us, laying in his kennel on his dog bed.
Yes.
And then there's the great speckled dog,
That's
the one, the only Sadie.
That's Sadie.
Actually, she's Sadie the second. She was named after one of Philippa's Great Danes.
Yes.
Sadie the party animal. And Sadie, too, is a party animal. She likes her beer just as well as
Sadie Lady did.
Sadie Lady did.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Bay Allen is here. He
Hey,
says,
Bay.
Hello.
Glad you
Bay.
dropped in.
Yes, welcome.
It's nice running into you. Not literally, of course, at CAG.
That's good.
And congratulations on your finish in the contest. That was great. Yeah, Bay took third prize and got a Daigle Autoharp for his troubles.
Oh.
Well, those other people don't know what the heck they're doing. They,
Bay says, very nice indeed. Thanks.
Not a problem. Now we don't just got the one old boy that said he wouldn't go hunting because he wanted to chase women. And then we had the coon hunter who didn't go hunting because he done caught a woman. And here's a song about a guy that actually does go hunting. I think Phil Harris wrote it, and I know Phil Harris and his orchestra recorded it, and it's called Elmer and the Bear. Elmer Jones awoke at dawn and put his hunting breeches on, looked up at his shotgun on the wall. He made his mind up then and there to bag himself a hunk of bear. At hunting, he had plenty on the ball. He milked the cow, fed the hog, kissed his wife and called the dog, picked up his gun and started on his quest. He crossed the creek and hit the trees, threw back his head and sniffed the breeze, let out a yell and pounded on his chest. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. He hunted all the morning through, but not a bear came into view as Elmer's mind was on the kitchen range. For he was sick as he could be, a lamb and chicken fricassee, and craved mess bear meat for a change. Poor Elmer's mind was in a fog. He paused and sat down on a log to get his faculties back in the groove. He heard a noise, and standing there before him was a grizzly bear, and he figured it was time he made his move. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. He grabbed his gun and turned around, but Mr. Bear just stood his ground. Elmer said, it's either me or thou. The gun refused to go, and so he knew that someone had to go, and he said, farewell, I'm leaving as of now. Then Elmer's shoulders sprouted wings, his feet developed inner springs. To linger longer, he was disinclined. He ran so fast through muck and mire, his ankles set his socks afire, but still that bear kept coming on behind. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. A deer with antlers 6 feet wide got in the way of Elmer's stride as both of them went heading for the brush. Elmer said, now listen, son, if that's the fastest you can run, move over, 'cause I'm really in a rush. The bear was gaining inch by inch, finally reached out for the clinch as Elmer saw the fence around his place. He leaped the fence and landed hard, jumped 60 feet across the yard and slammed the kitchen door in Bruin's face. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run. That bear was trying to get inside, and Elmer sought a place to hide, and Mrs. Jones began to pull her hair. She said, this fuss has got to stop. Why don't you let that matter drop? He said, honey, you go tell that to the bear. Then Mrs. Jones said, listen, goon, how come you think you're Dan'l Boone, whose appetite on bear meat used to thrive? He said, I'm sure that you're aware that Dan'l always killed his bear, but honey, I done brought this baby home alive. Here comes Elmer, Elmer's got his gun. Here comes Elmer, run, bear, run.
Well, Philippa said old tape would fit in with these songs.
Yeah, it would. It
and
would.
Green Face.
But McLean uses very strange chord progressions. His songs can't be done off the cuff, but at least not by me. But yeah, that would have been a good one. And I will certainly put it in the queue and see if we can resurrect it. Wish we'd thought of it when we did the all request show. That would have been a good one for that.
Well, this is writing it down as a request.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one where I'd have to actually listen to the song a couple times to remind me of how it goes. I keep all the music in my head. I don't write down any of the music. I write down some of the words to some of the songs, but all the music is in my old head. All right. Then there's folks from down home who don't do well at all when they are out of their element. This was written by C.W. Kalb and recorded by Ray Stevens, and it's called Gourmet Restaurants. Well, I went to the Chez Perry. Food was good there, I'd been told. They said I should try some of that there vichyssoise. When they brought it, heck, it was cold. I said, don't you just have some tomato soup? He said, the gazpacho is awfully nice. I said, well, bring me a big bowl of that. He did. Dad blamed if it wasn't cold as ice. Oh, you can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. Yeah, the waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't bring you what you want. Well, I like greens, cornbread, beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, them gourmet restaurants ain't for me. Well, a few months later, some friends insisted we try out the Chateau LaRue. After waiting an hour and a half to finally sit down, hell, I couldn't even read the menu. So I asked the waiter, how's the beef? He said, the steak tartare is the best you ever had. But when he brought it, friends, I thought I'd seen real raw meat, but this one wasn't even hurt real bad. A couple Band-Aids and that boy would be back out there grazing. Well, I just couldn't eat that steak tartare. I was confused in every way. I wasn't even too sure about the soup du jour. I hear they change that every day. And then the waiter said, Monsieur, I have frog legs that are guaranteed to please. I said, well, hooray, boy, hop on back there in the kitchen and bring me a grilled cheese. Or you can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. Yeah, the waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't bring you what you want. Well, I like greens, cornbread and beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, those gourmet restaurants ain't for me. Well, they said I ought to at least try out some of their wonderful desserts. I hadn't been able to eat anything else. I figured, heck, what can it hurt? I thought I'd like a little ice cream, the waiter said, if that was my desire. This Shirley's Jubilee is magnifique. But when he brought it, heck, it was on fire! And I jumped up and throwed a bowl of that cold tater soup on it before it could set off the sprinkler system. Probably saved them from a major fire. But did they appreciate it? No. Asked me not to never come back. No need to worry about that. Oh, you can have those high-priced gourmet restaurants. Yeah, the waiters act snooty and they walk kind of fruity and they won't bring you what you want. Well, I like greens, cornbread and beans, and a big old glass of iced tea. I tell you, friends, those gourmet restaurants ain't for me. They said the food at that place was fit for a king. They were right. Here, king. Here, boy. Beef tornado. What's that? Steak that's been run over by an Oldsmobile? Now, I can understand chocolate eggs and chocolate rabbits, but a chocolate mousse ain't never gonna catch on. Seems like all it takes to qualify for gourmet food is for it to be raw or on fire. I don't think that old boy understood it all. You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy, I guess. Right. Well, yeah.
Bay Allen said nice.
Thanks, Bay.
Lois said yodeling by Sourdough Slim. Thought you might enjoy.
Write it down, please.
Okay.
Yodeling by Sourdough Slim. There's YouTube videos on how to yodel, and I'm gonna try to get better at it because there ain't so many yodelers out there, and it goes really well with my picking style.
It does.
I told this story at MLAG,
Oh,
but
she gave us the link to the YouTube.
Oh, thank you. But write it down anyhow, because it's hard for me to go back through here.
Yeah.
See, the comments don't speak through my screen reader. The screen reader doesn't read them as they appear, because the people who developed it assumed that if I was listening to something or watching something, I wouldn't want to hear the comments. And 99.9% of the time they're right. But
Bay said Ray Choi is a professional yodeler.
he's a professional everything, Bay.
And Lois said Ray is great. I haven't heard him.
Oh my goodness! I'll fix that.
I haven't heard him play.
Oh, I'll fix that. I've got him.
But I actually haven't.
I've got him on the contest CD when he won the championship in 2017. Okay, folks, the guy played Malaguena on the Autoharp. Okay. I mean, come on. I mean,
go Ray.
a certain, a very good friend of mine who's a really good Autoharp player was going to enter the contest this year at MLAG, and he heard that Ray Choi was going to enter, and he didn't enter, and then Ray didn't either. Oh. But as soon as he heard that, the guy just, never mind. I got no chance.
Oh,
he is a wizard. He's also a luthier. I have never had my hands on one of his Autoharps, but he can put us all to shame, that guy. Wow. He's unreal. If you get a chance to hear Ray Choi, I think it's spelled C-H-O-I.
It is.
Okay. Go to YouTube. There's stuff up there. He's a wonderful Autoharp player.
Bay said, I know. Lois said Ray's great, and Bay said, I know.
Yeah. Guys, check him out. Now, I told this story at MLAG, but I kind of did Bill Jones a disservice. So I'm going to tell it again with a little addendum. I had two big city boys, Bugsy and Shifty, and they decided they were going to get in the counterfeit money business. So Shifty gives Bugsy all their money, and he goes to the counterfeiter, and he comes back with a big box of $18 bills. And Shifty said, Bugsy, you're an idiot. There's no such thing as an $18 bill. You just wasted all our money, and you might get wasted yourself. And Bugsy, wasn't real bright, but he said, oh, boss, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll drive out of the big city. We'll drive way down in the country, and we'll stop in at all the little stores and bars and gas stations, and we'll get change for these $18 bills. And Shifty said, well, yeah, I reckon we can't do anything else. So they jump in their mobster mobile, and they motor on down the highway, and they drive, and they drive, and they drive, and they drive, and they get down home, and they pull up in front of Bill Jones' General Store. And they walk in, and Bill's behind the counter, as he usually was, and Lefty said, Shifty said, hey, Pop, can you change an $18 bill for us? And Bill said, sure can, son. How do you boys want it? 2 9s or 3 6s? Now, I think Bill might have been dumb like a fox. See, he didn't want to bother them boys because they could shoot up his store, but he just, Yep. So I just wanted to make that little correction in case people thought Bill Jones was not quite as smart as we thought he was.
Loretta said, Loretta DeVore, I played a Ray Choi harp in Mount View with a heart.
Oh, is that on YouTube? Because if it is, I want to hear it. I may have heard it and not known that. I think I've listened to just about everything of yours I can lay my hands on, but
see, that
now that's Sadie.
That was Sadie.
That's not Thunder. That's the great speckled dog.
Loretta said no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, Sadie has a perfect heart on the right side of her neck.
Yeah. It's black. It's not red, but she's black and white.
Yeah.
But it's shaped.
She's I forget what kind of Great Dane she is.
They call that mantle.
Mantle. Yeah, that's right.
And it comes with spots. It must be kind of the Harlequin, but it more black. It's almost like a tuxedo cat kind of a coloring. but she's got spots here and there too. They're almost faded, kind of, but they're there.
Are we out of time? I hope we're.
I got 2:50.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Here is a song that was written and recorded by Alan Jackson, whom I believe has passed away of cancer. He was a great country singer. And here's a song of his called Drive for Daddy Jean. Painted red, the stripe was white. It was 18 feet from bow to stern light. Second hand from a dealer in Atlanta. I rode up with Daddy when he went there to get her. Put on a shine, put on a motor, built out a love made for the water. Ran her for years till the transom got rotten. A piece of my childhood that will never be forgotten. It was just an old plywood boat, a 75 Johnson with electric choke. A young boy, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And I would turn her sharp and make it wide. He'd say, you can't beat the way an old wood boat rides. Just a little lake across the Alabama line, but I was king of the ocean when Daddy let me drive. Just an old half-ton short bed Ford my uncle bought new in '64. Daddy got it right, 'cause the engine was smoking. Couple burnt valves and he had it going. He'd let me drive her when we'd haul off a load to down a dirt strip where we dumped trash off a thick pen road. I'd sit up in the seat, stretch my feet out to the pedals, smiling like a hero who just received his medal. It was just an old hand-me-down Ford with 3-speed on the column and a dent in the door. A young boy, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And I would press that clutch and I'd keep it right. He'd say, a little slower, son, now you're doing just fine. Just a dirt road with trash on each side, but I was merry, oh, and ready when Daddy let me drive. I'm grown up now, 3 daughters of my own. I let 'em drive my old Jeep across the pasture at our home. Maybe someday they'll reach back in their file and pull up that old memory and think of me and smile and say, it was just an old worn out Jeep, rusty old floorboards hot on my feet. A young girl, 2 hands on the wheel. I can't replace the way it made me feel. And he'd say, turn it left, steer it right, straighten up, girl, now you're doing just fine. Just a little valley by the river where we'd ride, but I was high on a mountain when Daddy let me drive. Daddy let me drive. Oh, he let me drive. just an old plywood boat. 75 Johnson with electric's choke.
Loretta said, I just love the sound of your orthe with a heart. I'd love to have one. Such a nice rich tone in another heart.
Yeah, this is actually a Schreiber, of course, but he was taught by George Orthe. He's the man who's carrying on the Orthe tradition. And a lot of the sound is because of the way the chords are voiced. It took me a little while to get used to it, especially the minors, because he'll voice the third below sometimes, but it just adds so much.
Loretta gave you a thumbs up.
Thank you, Loretta. And then there's felt between the guide pins and the big tuning pegs. So you don't get any harmonics from the little pieces of those strings that are exposed. It's a lighter harp than even some of my Oscar Schmidts, and it's just a wonderful sounding.
It is. And Dan was talking about the sustain on it.
Yeah, it's remarkable. It really, really is. Thank you very much for the.
Too, which you don't get the advantage of seeing.
No, but
it's
a lot of times I'll run my fingers across the wide end where he has written Mountain Laurel Autoharp Gathering 2022. It's been carved into that piece there, so it's unique. No one could claim it's theirs. Well, we are at the end. I want to thank everybody for visiting with us today.
Loretta says it sure is beautiful.
Thank you, Loretta, and I want to thank everybody for. Let me do this. I want to thank everybody for coming by. We had a great crowd today, and we had a great time. I hope y'all did too. And join us in 2 weeks where we'll do this all over again. I've got a couple shows in mind. If you liked what you heard and you can spare it, we'd really appreciate it if you'd put $1 or $2 in our tip jar. And I believe that information is in the crawler.
Well, the crawler is talking
about the CD. Well, yeah, you can buy a copy of our CD. When we won the 2021 Cohen Grapple Endowment, and we did a CD of dog songs called Forever Friends. It's a wonderful CD, and all of the money goes to support the school that trained my latest guide dog, Indy. You can go to the www.autoharpdownhome.com website, and there's a donate link there that you can click if you'd like to put a little money in our tip jar, our virtual tip jar. We'd really appreciate that if you could spare a little bit.
Laura said, so you won't be at NWAG.
No, I can't. I don't have enough money to get there.
You're looking at going to CAG.
I'll be at CAG next spring, though. That's for sure.
That's what we're
so that's almost right in your neighborhood, and we're saving up our money and hoping we can get a little bit of help to get to the California Autoharp Gathering next spring. I want to again thank you all for coming, and I want to leave you with this piece of down home wisdom. Most of the stuff folks worry about ain't really going to happen anyway. So, y'all take care. Have a great rest of the weekend. Join us in 2 weeks. We'll be back on the 22nd, same time, same place. And we sure love to have you come back and see us. Now it's time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Down home style, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now here.